Hello and welcome to Ollie's Media Podcast. Today we'll be looking at how does your product engage with audiences and how will it be distributed as real media text. I did some research on students aged mainly 15 to 18. I also sent it to some teachers to gain more diverse results. My first question was, do you prefer it when horror films are more intense or comedy based? 55.8% of the 43 responses voted intense and 44.2% voted comedy. A comedy horror film is a movie like Scary Movie where it's sort of mocking the general comedy, the general horror aspects in a movie, and it's actually mocking a media text that's been before it. And intense horror is something like It, and we wanted to make sure that we're reaching our target audience, so we thought we'd go with the more majority and go with the intense horror film. What information would you want to see in a movie intro was my second question. 37% voted character information, 32.6% voted cliffhanger, and 23.9% voted shock. With this engagement with the audience, we decided to leave a bit of a cliffhanger at the end. However, you get some character information by us introducing the main killer, a victim that's been before, and a victim that they may think is being murdered. We also added a bit of shock in there by doing quite a graphic scene in a like it seems the victim being before has been drowned. So that's keeps the audience on their toes and gives them a bit of shock in quite a short amount of time, and that can give them a bit of what they'd be in for in the movie further on. We looked at the leading platforms and how our audience usually watch, how they get the media text and watch it. And with this information, it shows a clear, obvious option for the distributor of this movie to be on Netflix. This may be due to the target audience being students, age, or young adults, therefore not having as much money, so going to the cinema is an expensive option. I feel people would be hesitant to buy a ticket on a new production company as they may not trust the quality of the product to be as good. We feel starting on a new platform like Netflix would give us a name for a first-time media text. This would be perhaps we could do a cinema for future texts. The leading results for the information was 72% watching their media texts on Netflix, and the rest were quite sparse in their results. Some being Disney Plus, some being Prime Video, but Netflix is the real sort of takeover. They sort of own it with like young audiences. And so my next thing that I studied was simultaneous release. Simultaneous release is when you release a media text on different platforms at the same time. An example of this being done best is a field in England where they distributed the film in cinema and on Channel 4 at the same time. It gives the audience the option of paying for the quality and feeling of the cinema, or those who are not too bothered to see it, it's a loss-free viewing on TV. This is the best for media text with niche audiences and independent companies. I like the idea of simultaneous release as it gives the audience viewing for free and gives the movie more opportunity to be viewed by those who had perhaps not watched it in cinema, and this increases the audience and can result in higher revenue. I also made an example target audience. I did it on one of my friends called Anna. He's 18 and lives in Reading as a student. A bit about Arna. He enjoys going out with friends. He enjoys films, but finds he has shorter time to go to the cinema and is difficult on a student budget. He likes to go to events and concerts, and he loves horror films. With this information, I looked at some events that young audiences or all horror lovers might go to, and I found Hull Horror Fest. If the media text is a success, we'd love to do the Horror Fest. I feel this is great for my target audience as they're mainly young, and we feel this would be something they'd enjoy going to. That's all we'll be looking at today. Thank you very much for listening.